Sawasdee welcome to NBT World Brief and you're me Surapan Lautharanarit. Thailand's Election Commission says voter turnout in the recent general election held on February 8th reached more than 71% nationwide. The Election Commission of Thailand reported that 71.42% of eligible voters cast their ballots in the general election for members of parliament. For the party-list system, there were more than 52.9 million eligible voters, with 37.8 million people participating. Of those ballots, over 35 million were valid votes, while about 1.66 million were invalid, and more than 1.1 million voters chose not to select any political party. Meanwhile, in the constituency-based election, voter turnout stood at the same level of 71.42%, with more than 34.8 million valid ballots, alongside 1.33 million invalid votes and around 1.6 million ballots cast without selecting any candidate. The figures are current as of February 25th, 2026. And do not yet include constituencies where vote recounts or repolling are still underway. Provincial breakdowns of valid, invalid, and no-vote ballots will be released once all recounts and new voting processes are completed. Thailand's industrial production showed continued growth at the start of the year, supported by stronger manufacturing and exports, although a stronger baht remains a key concern going forward. The Office of Industrial Economics reports that Thailand's Manufacturing Production Index, or MPI, rose 1.46% year-on-year in January 2026, reaching 101.58. Capacity utilization also improved to 60.07%, up from 57.88% recorded in December last year. Officials say growth was driven mainly by increased automobile production, particularly electric vehicles, as manufacturers accelerated output to offset earlier imports. Industrial exports also expanded, while economic activity during the election period helped boost demand in related sectors, such as printing, garments, food, and beverages. However, authorities warned that the strengthening baht could weigh on export earnings in the months ahead, alongside uncertainties surrounding U.S. economic policies and potential import tariff measures. The agency forecasts industrial output and industrial sector GDP to grow between 1.5 and 2.5% in 2026, supported by global trade recovery, government stimulus measures, accelerated budget disbursement, and a more accommodative interest rate outlook. Still, risks remain from high household debt, slow consumption recovery, geopolitical tensions, and climate-related impacts. The latest policy rate cut is expected to influence capital flows and currency movements, with Siam Commercial Bank outlining its outlook for the baht going forward. Siam Commercial Bank, or SCB, says the recent policy interest rate reduction by Thailand's Monetary Policy Committee is likely to ease short-term speculative capital inflows into the country. The bank projects the Thai baht to move within a range of 31 to 32 baht per US dollar during the first half of the year. According to SCB Executive Vice President Patrick Poulier, the markets would closely monitor the 29 baht level, describing it as an important psychological threshold that authorities and businesses would prefer the currency not to reach.
ถ้ามันแข็งค่าจนมากกว่าเพื่อนในภูมิภาคเองแล้วนั้นเนี่ยมันอาจจะไปทำให้การแข่งขันเราแย่ลงนะครับผมคิดว่าวันนี้ถ้าเรายังแข่งค่าอยู่ในจุดที่เขาเรียกว่าใกล้เคียงเพื่อนบ้านอยู่เนี่ยเราน่าจะยังพอแข่งขันได้นะครับผมคิดว่าวันนี้เองนี้ทางที่เราอยู่ที่ระดับ31 บาทเนี่ยถือว่าเป็นจุดที่ยังพอไหวอยู่นะครับเราเองผมคิดว่า จะไม่ต่ำไปกว่านี้มากเกินไปนักนะครับถ้าเมื่อกี้เราคุยกับทาง strategist เราเนี่ยก็มองว่าแนวรับเนี่ยอยู่ที่ประมาณ31 บาท 30.8 และ 30.5 นะครับผมแต่ว่ามองภาพระยะกลางแล้วกันนะครับกลางปีเนี่ยเรายังมองอยู่ในกรอบของ 31-32 บาทครับ29 บาทเนี่ยหรือต่ำกว่า 30 บาทเนี่ยมันเป็น psychology level ของทุกๆคนนะครับผมคิดว่ามันเป็นอะไรที่เราคงไม่อยากเห็นเพราะว่ามันจะเป็นจุดที่อาจจะทำให้รู้สึกว่าต่ำจนเกินไปหรือเปล่าแต่ก็ต้องดูประกอบกับ currency อื่นๆในภูมิภาคด้วยครับ
SCB added that the baht remains highly sensitive to global financial conditions, including geopolitical risks, U.S. economic and trade policies, and persistently high global interest rates. Capital inflows into Thailand's equity markets following clearer domestic political conditions have also supported the stronger currency, alongside a weaker U.S. dollar and rising gold prices, driven by global uncertainty and investment trends linked to artificial intelligence. Looking ahead, the bank expects the baht to gradually weaken toward 33 baht per dollar by the end of the year, while forecasting Thailand's economic growth at around 1.8% in 2026. SCB also anticipates the Monetary Policy Committee could consider another rate cut in the second half of the year if economic fundamentals remain fragile, including weak domestic demand, negative inflation, or elevated household debt levels. Authorities are warning residents in several central provinces to prepare for possible flooding as high sea levels and heavy rainfall are expected to raise river water levels in the coming days. Residents in 7 provinces, Samut Prakan, Bangkok, Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani, Samut Sakhon, Nakhon Pathom, and Samut Songkhram, are being advised to closely monitor water levels as high tides raise flood risks in low-lying areas. Officials say the combined impact of rising sea levels and southwest winds over the Andaman Sea, southern Thailand, and the Gulf of Thailand could bring heavy rainfall, pushing river levels higher. Low-lying communities along the Chao Phraya River face potential flooding between February 28th and March 3rd, while areas near the Maeklong River may be affected from February 28th to March 2nd, and communities along the Tha Chin River from March 1st to March 5th. Authorities also warn that locations outside flood barriers or without permanent protection systems could experience temporary flooding, including sections of Sukhumvit, Sukhsawat, and Rama 2 roads. Saltwater intrusion remains another concern, with possible impacts on water quality for household consumption and agricultural use. Nan Province is stepping up efforts to position its specialty coffee on the national stage with the launch of the Nan Coffee Academy, a new hub for coffee learning and industry development. The Nan Coffee Academy, located in Tha Wang Pa district, will serve as a center for research, innovation, and professional training under the concept From Soil to Soul, connecting development across the entire supply chain from cultivation to market. The program focuses on 5 key areas: upgrading farmers into smart farmers, precision processing and grading technology, digital traceability systems, professional coffee skills development, and value creation through the creative economy. Officials said Nan's distinctive resource capital gives a strong potential for premium coffee production. The initiative also promotes environmentally responsible farming, particularly shade-grown coffee cultivation, that helps preserve upstream forests while improving bean quality. The launch event featured ethnic cultural performances, certification awards for farmers meeting good agricultural practices standards, and exhibitions showcasing community coffee products, highlighting Nan's identity as an emerging specialty coffee destination. Officials believe the Nan Coffee Academy will play a vital role in strengthening grassroots income, creating jobs, and shifting the province's coffee sector from price-based competition toward sustainable, quality-driven growth. And that is it for our morning news report. You can stay updated with the latest developments and more stories. Simply scan the QR code on your screen to access our full coverage across all media platforms. Until next time, สวัสดีครับ